Welcome back, everyone, to Pontos, Fathom, Hobbies. This is Season 5, Episode 1 of Cthulhu Wars, and we're playing with the Azathoth expansion. We're calling this edition the Kathu Journals out of Lovecraft's Providence edition. We'll be reading some excerpts from Kathu Journals, reading some excerpts from H.P. Lovecraft's complete and unabridged works. So we just had our setup round. We've got the cultists of Yellow Sign occupying a single gate. 6 cultists. We've got 8 power units for Yellow Sign. In Europe, we've got the forces of Crawling Chaos Nyarlathotep. In Asia, again, 1 controlled gate, 6 cultists. And we've got finally the forces of Cthulhu in the South Pacific at Rilya. Again, controlled open gate, 6 acolytes, and 8 reserve power. So we will jump right into round number 1. Before we do, quick shout out to this channel's sponsor, Pontos Fathom Press. Like we mentioned, the Kathu Journals out of Lovecraft's Providence. This is our sort of Halloween 2023 send up. Be a great Halloween gift to give out to the kiddies at the door. It fits perfectly with the H.P. Lovecraft complete and unabridged editions that are out there on your bookshelf. What does it entail? It's got August Moldenhauer's trilogy, Kathu Journals out of Lovecraft Providence, Volume 1, 2, and 3, including Genealogy of Cthulhu, Psychoanalysis of Rilya, and Archaeology of Yog-Sothoth. Also contains Disclosure from the Necronomicon Fragment, Volumes 1, 2, and 3, Necromancy of Nyarlathotep, The Hermeticism of Hastur, and The Alchemy of Azathoth. Individually, these can kind of be read in any order, but together they form the classic grimoire that you have here. So we'll dip into that at the end of the turn. But first, let's jump right into round number 1. We're starting out with our action phase. Cthulhu gets first up, so let's have the forces of Cthulhu. Let's have them move 1 space into the North Pacific. We'll move a cultist into the North Pacific with 1 power move, so we can minus 1 move there. Next up, we'll go to Crawling Chaos. Crawling Chaos. Crawling Chaos again, they can move. Let's have them move to Africa. So they'll move a force to Africa. That will diminish them by 1. Next up, we've got Yellow Sign. Yellow Sign, let's have them move to the North Atlantic through this land bridge. So they're in the North Atlantic now. And I think Crawling Chaos can actually move 2, but that's okay. We're just going to move the 1. So they also diminish by 1. We can also have an action, capture, summon 1 monster. As our action, select another player who gains 3 doom points. That's interesting. So let's go ahead and desecrate an area on our next turn. Desecrate is an action cost of 2. So let's just remember that next round. So back to Cthulhu. Cthulhu will go ahead and spawn a gate. So spawning a gate requires a cultist minus 3 to the power. So that's 1, 2, 3. They'll spawn a gate here. And they can occupy this gate in the North Pacific. We'll move on to Crawling Chaos. They will also spawn a gate in Africa that they can occupy. Let's have our we'll move our character here, and that will be 1 move as well. Back to Cthulhu. Cthulhu will spawn a Okay, so they need to have a spell book first. So in the first Doom phase, kill or devour an enemy unit. Awaken Cthulhu. Cthulhu create 3 gates or 4 gates in a land area. In the Doom phase first, get the Elder Sign. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's move another cultist to the Indian Ocean. Right, we got South Pacific. Let's move another cultist to the Indian Ocean for 1. We will go now to Crawling Chaos. Crawling Chaos they'll add a second cultist to here. That will diminish them by 1. And they also have to move by 3 down to 3. And 1, 2, 3 for the spawning of the gates. Let's go to the cultists of Yellow Sign. They will spawn a Desecrate for 2 power, bringing them down to 1 power. And now that they have a Yellow Sign, they successfully desecrate the area with this glyph. They may pick their first spell. So move the Yellow King. When you move one of your cultists, if Hastur is in play, when any one of your cultists are eliminated, gain 1 power. Let's do it the Passion Ongoing. So that's going to be the first spell that we're going to take, the Ongoing. Okay, we'll go back to Cthulhu. Cthulhu. We will spawn another gate. 1, 2, 3. So we're out of power points. We've got 3 gates. So that means we can get a spell that's called Control 3 gates in 3 ocean areas. So we got 3 gates in 3 ocean areas. Let's go and see what we have. Great Cthulhu spells. If Cthulhu, choose an area with an enemy acolyte cult. Your enemy must eliminate. Okay, so I can do dreams. I can send a dream that eliminates a cultist. So I'll put this here on the Control 3 gates. So that's cool. We've got our first spell book. Spell. Great. So that he is out of the game at this point. Nyarlathotep. As an action, pay 4 power. Let's just go ahead. He'll pay 4 power points, and they will pay to get a spell as well. And we'll get start with something simple first. After all pain results are assigned to units, before they're applied, you choose where the units are paired to. So we've paid for the spell of Madness. Okay, so we've got that spell in place. And lastly, there's 1 point for 1 point left for Yellow Sign. Let's just have the Yellow Sign move 1 more to the Arctic Ocean here, and they can move down in the next one. So that is everyone's move has gone. So let's go ahead into the Gather Power phase. Gather Power phase, we've got 1 power for each cultist. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cultists for Cthulhu. 6 plus 2 power per controlled gate. So 2, 4, 6. So we're up to 12. And that will be it. And then we will go to Crawling Chaos. They will also get 6 and 4. So they'll have 10. And Desecrate. Gain +1 power for each area containing a desecration token and 1 or more units. So we've got 1 for this, plus 6 acolytes, 7, plus 1 gate is 2, so they're up to 9. So everyone was able to spawn a spell. It says Doom +1 per controlled gate, so everyone will move their 1 Doom for yellow sign, 2 Doom is for crawling chaos, and 3 Doom is for Cthulhu. So that's going to do it. So while we're here, let's take a quick look. We'll start at the beginning at Genealogy of Cthulhu. Genealogy of Cthulhu, it's the first book in the series. You guys can go check this out in the bookstore. As you guys know, we're not sponsored, so check out our bookstore to help support the channel. As you can also check out our Patreon. We're actually, Genealogy of Cthulhu is available in digital copy to read for as little as $1, so that all helps to support the channel. And as usual, liking and subscribing. Shout out to all of our Patreons and our subscribers. Really appreciate your support. I mean, in the Genealogy of Cthulhu, one thing that's interesting is the Kathu journals itself. You've got these excerpted pages of the Kathu journals, and then translations and commentaries on those by August Moldenhauer. It says, this Pontos Fathom edition of August Moldenhauer's Genealogy of Cthulhu is the first book of the Kathu journals trilogy, which begins with the notebooks discovering the original manuscript. As with this new Pontos Fathom edition, not only do we revise the 3-book series, including Psychoanalysis of R'lyeh and Archaeology of Yog-Sothoth, the series now has expanded to include the additional 3-volume work of Giuseppe Balsamo, Necromancy of Nyarlathotep, the Hermeticism of Hastur, and the Alchemy of Azathoth. So one thing that we're starting about is the idea of the Lovecraftian intersection with Jungian alchemy. So Jung discusses alchemical and perhaps even Rosicrucian integrations of symbolic alchemy and psychological alchemy. Through Jung's works and eye on the occult undercurrent of his black books and the concept of psychic opposites, their synthesis, and therefore their integration into consciousness. This is something of the conjunction of this work that exists in Lovecraft's writing between fiction and that which lies just outside of human perception, but comes clearly into focus in moments of fear. The genre was once called weird fiction, even more recently cosmic horror. Perhaps the true horror of this is the very nature of our philosophical inquiries and historical memories as being pliable as our consciousness begins to grasp our place in the universe. Leaping through these notebooks, we see interwoven connections to topics ranging from the Book of Genesis, the nightmarish fears of Lovecraft, juxtaposed with texts of Gnosticism like the Pomandries of Hermes Trismegistus and the pagan worship of Dagon. So there's a little taste of this from the introduction. Go out and check the bookstore if you're interested. Would love to have you guys leave comments below. And we will see you in round number 2 for continuing this Kathu Journals edition of Cthulhu Wars. Thanks for watching and see you next round. Bye.